Have you ever helped someone and they never said thank you? Have you ever given everything to people only for them to ask for more? Have you ever been so kind, so generous, so good that people slowly began to use you? There is a painful truth that kind people often learn too late. Being good does not always protect you. Sometimes it destroys you. You say yes when you want to say no. You help when you are exhausted. You give until there is nothing left inside you. And the worst part? People don't respect your kindness. They exploit it. Then, the moment you finally say no, the moment you set boundaries, they call you selfish, cold, or ungrateful. But what if the real problem was not kindness itself? What if the problem was being kind without wisdom? This is the story of a man who learned that lesson the hard way. Once upon a time, in a quiet village, there lived a man named Thomas. Thomas was known as the kindest man in the village. He had a warm smile, a helping hand, and a heart that never said no. If someone needed help, Thomas was there. If someone needed money, Thomas gave it. If someone needed time, Thomas listened for hours. Thomas is such a good man, the villagers would say. Always generous, always willing. Thomas believed his kindness made him valuable. He believed his goodness kept him safe. But deep inside, something felt wrong. Every night, Thomas collapsed into bed exhausted. Not just tired in body, but empty in spirit. He often stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Why do I feel so weak?" One morning, his neighbor, Mr. Harrison, knocked on his door. "Thomas," he said, "I need help fixing my roof. Can you come today?" Thomas had planned to rest. His back ached from helping 3 neighbors earlier that week. But when he saw Mr. Harrison's face, he couldn't say no. He spent the entire day on the roof under the burning sun. His hands blistered. His body screamed for rest. When he finished, Mr. Harrison smiled and said, "Good job, Thomas. Same time next week. I need the fence fixed too." No thank you, no offer to help in return, just another request. That night, Thomas lay in bed aching, inside and out. "Why don't they appreciate what I do?" he whispered. "Why do they always ask for more?" A few days later, his friend Robert came to him. "Can I borrow 50 coins?" Robert asked. "I'll pay you back next month, I promise." Thomas had lent him money 3 times before. Robert had never paid him back. Still, he handed over the coins. 2 months passed. Robert never mentioned the money. When Thomas finally asked, Robert's face hardened. "What?" he said. "I thought we were friends. Friends don't keep track of money." Thomas felt a knife twist in his chest. He gave, and now he was the bad guy. Soon after, the village held a meeting to build a new well. When the question of who would do the work came up, everyone turned toward Thomas. "Thomas will do it," someone said. "He's always willing." Heads nodded. The decision was made. No one asked Thomas. They simply expected him to do it, alone. That night, Thomas realized something painful. His kindness had become his prison. As he sat alone by the river, an old merchant passing through the village stopped beside him. "You look like a man who gives everything and receives nothing." Thomas looked up, surprised. "How did you know?" "I see it in your eyes," the merchant replied. "You believe being good means saying yes to everyone. But tell me, how do you feel?" "Exhausted," he said quietly. "Empty. Used." The merchant nodded. "That's because kindness without wisdom is not kindness. It is self-destruction." Thomas frowned. "But isn't helping people the right thing to do?" "Yes," said the merchant, "but not everyone deserves your help. Not every request deserves your yes. When you help everyone, your help loses value. When you're always available, people stop respecting your time. When you never say no, people stop valuing your yes. Something cracked open inside Thomas. "So what should I do?" he asked. "Be kind, but be strategic. Help selectively. Protect yourself. Your goodness is a gift. Don't waste it on those who don't appreciate it." The next morning, Mr. Harrison knocked again. "Ready to fix my fence today, Thomas?" Thomas took a deep breath. For the first time in his life, he said, "No." Mr. Harrison stared in shock. "What? But you promised." "I'm tired," he replied calmly. "My body needs rest. You'll have to find someone else." Mr. Harrison grew angry. "I can't believe this." Thomas stood firm. "I fixed your roof, your door, and your fence. You never helped me once. You never thanked me. You only asked for more." He closed the door gently. His hands were shaking, but for the first time, he felt free. Days later, Robert asked for money again. "No," Thomas said. Robert's face twisted. "You've changed. You're not kind anymore." Thomas smiled softly. "You're right. I'm no longer kind to people who don't respect my kindness." At the next village meeting, Thomas stood up. "I have helped this village for years. I have given without asking for anything in return. But from now on, things will change. I will help, but not alone. I will give my time, but it must be respected. I will be kind, but only to those who value kindness." Some villagers looked ashamed. Others looked angry. Thomas no longer cared. He had learned the truth. Being good does not mean being weak. It means being wise. Weeks passed. Something strange happened. The people who once used Thomas now treated him with respect. Requests came with gratitude. Help came with fairness. One day, a young farmer named Daniel approached him. "I need help building my barn. I'll pay you and I'll help you whenever you need it." Thomas saw something rare in Daniel's eyes: respect. "All right," Thomas said with a smile. "Let's work together." For the first time in years, his kindness felt valued. When the old merchant returned, he found Thomas peaceful and strong. "You have changed," the merchant said. "Yes," Thomas replied. "I've learned that real goodness is strategic. It helps the right people at the right time in the right way." "And how do you feel now?" the merchant asked. Thomas looked at the sky. "I feel free." If you are someone who always says yes, always helps, always gives, hear this. Your kindness is not a weakness, but kindness without boundaries will destroy you.